You probably believe that you know yourself. You know what you like, what you fear, what you would never tolerate, and what you would do if something truly serious happened. You have spent years observing your own thoughts, carrying your own memories, and listening to the voice inside your head. If anyone should know who you are, it should be you. But think about how often you have said, "I never thought I would do that." Perhaps you believed you would remain calm, but you panicked. You believed you would speak, but you remained silent. You were certain that you would forgive someone, but when the moment arrived, you could not. Or you imagined yourself walking away, only to discover that you were willing to stay. In each of these moments, a stranger seemed to appear inside you. That stranger made a decision using your mind, spoke through your mouth, and accepted consequences that you would later have to carry. But that stranger was not someone else. It was you. So how can you claim to know yourself if parts of you appear only when life creates the right situation? And if you do not completely know who you are, then who exactly is the person you have been calling me? There is an answer, but to see it clearly, we must first examine how a person can remain with themselves every day and still be partly unknown. Most of what you believe about yourself has never been fully tested. It exists as a prediction. You believe you would be courageous in danger, loyal under pressure, patient during suffering, and honest when dishonesty would be rewarded. Perhaps you would, but until the situation arrives, you do not possess knowledge. You possess an expectation. We build our identities from these expectations. We collect memories, opinions, and repeated behaviors, then arrange them into sentences. I am kind. I am rational. I am independent. I am not the type of person who does that. These sentences are useful because they give us continuity. They make the person of yesterday, the person of today, and the person we expect to become feel like one recognizable individual. But a description is not the same thing as a complete person. A map may describe a territory, but it does not contain every road, every stone, or every change in weather. In the same way, your self-image is a map created from the parts of yourself you have already encountered. And here is the first uncomfortable question. What if the person you call yourself is mostly a prediction made from incomplete evidence? Psychologist Walter Mischel challenged the idea that human behavior can always be explained by stable personality traits. His work suggested that behavior is often deeply affected by context. A person may appear confident in one situation and insecure in another, generous with friends and defensive with strangers, patient while working and impatient at home. This does not necessarily mean that the person is dishonest or inconsistent. It may mean that different situations activate different responses. Later, Mischel and Shoda developed the cognitive affective personality system. In simple terms, the model proposes that personality can be understood through patterns of if this, then that. If a person feels respected, they may become open and cooperative. If that same person feels humiliated, they may withdraw or become aggressive. The individual is still the same, but the situation activates a different part of their psychological system. This is why you cannot completely predict yourself by observing only ordinary days. Ordinary days reveal how you behave under ordinary conditions. They do not necessarily reveal who appears when you receive power, lose control, encounter rejection, face responsibility, or discover that no one will punish you for doing the wrong thing. You may know how you behave in the life you have lived so far, but do you know how you would behave inside a life you have never experienced? Because there may be entire versions of you that have never had a reason to exist. Imagine that your identity is a house containing hundreds of rooms. Every situation opens a different door. Some rooms are familiar. You enter them every day. Your humor, routines, preferences, and usual fears. Because you visit these rooms constantly, you begin to believe that they are the entire house, but other doors remain closed. Perhaps you have never experienced enough power to discover whether you would use it responsibly. Perhaps you have never been betrayed in a way that tested your ability to forgive. Perhaps you have never been completely alone, completely admired, or completely free from consequences. You can imagine how you would respond, but imagination is produced inside the comfortable room where you are standing now. Then something unexpected happens. A door opens and you meet a reaction you did not know you were capable of. Sometimes you feel ashamed, sometimes you feel proud. You may discover courage where you expected fear, or cruelty where you expected kindness. The discovery can be disturbing because it breaks the illusion that identity is something completely known. Yet that hidden reaction was not created from nothing. It emerged from your memories, values, fears, instincts, and choices. It was part of you, but it needed a particular moment to become visible. So perhaps the mystery is not that we occasionally act out of character. Perhaps the mystery is that we believe our character has already been completed. When people try to understand themselves, they usually look backward. They examine childhood, past relationships, failures, victories, and difficult decisions. This makes sense. The past contains evidence, and without memory, we would struggle to maintain any coherent identity. But the past can only reveal the person who encountered past situations. It cannot fully reveal the person who will encounter future ones. You may say, I have always been afraid, but tomorrow may present the one thing for which you are willing to become courageous. You may say, I always give up, but you have not yet seen every reason you might have to continue. The word always secretly makes a claim about days that have not happened. This does not mean that the past is unimportant. Your past created the conditions from which you act today. But it is not the final definition of you. It is one part of a person who is still meeting new situations and producing new responses. And this leads to a strange possibility. Maybe you do not know yourself completely because part of you does not exist yet. Your future self is not simply hiding somewhere, fully formed, waiting for time to reveal it. That person will be shaped by experiences you have not had, people you have not met, losses and opportunities you cannot predict, and decisions your present self has not yet been asked to make. In Confessions, Augustine examined the mystery of time and observed that human beings never hold the past, present, and future in the same way. The past reaches us through memory, the present reaches us through attention, the future reaches us through expectation. Human experience is therefore divided across time. We remember what has been, attend to what is happening, and imagine what may come. This provides a powerful way to understand identity. We see our past self through memories that may be incomplete. We experience our present self only inside the current moment, and we see our future self through predictions that may be wrong. We never stand before the complete person. We see fragments arriving one after another. Augustine contrasted this fragmented human experience with the idea of an eternal perspective, one that would not move through time, moment by moment. From such a viewpoint, a life would not appear as separate versions of a person slowly replacing one another. Past, present, and future would form one complete image. Whether this is understood theologically or simply as a philosophical thought experiment, it reveals the limit of self-knowledge. We are trying to understand a whole while living inside only one part of it. But what would that complete image actually look like? Imagine a painting being created one brushstroke at a time. Because you are standing inside the painting, you can see only the brushstroke being made now and the faded traces of those made before. You may try to predict the final image, but the empty parts of the canvas remain beyond your knowledge. Your past is the part already painted. Your present is the brush touching the canvas. Your future is the space that has not yet received color. None of these parts alone is the complete image. This is why you are not entirely who you think you are. The person you think you are is constructed mostly from the past, from what you remember doing, feeling, and choosing. But the complete you would be the sum of your past, your present, and your future, including every version of you that will appear when life places you inside situations you cannot yet imagine. Only an observer outside time, able to see your entire life without being limited to one moment, could know that complete image. We cannot do this. We meet ourselves in sequence. Each experience reveals another part. Each decision adds another line. We can know ourselves sincerely but never finally, because the person doing the observing is still changing along with the person being observed. And perhaps this is not a failure of self-knowledge. Perhaps it is simply the condition of being alive. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. If you like this kind of content, like the video and subscribe for more. Thanks.